Hey y'all, it's Vern over at Leaven Kitchen. We're back with another video. Today we're actually going to be looking at the Coupe R2 food processor. Really simple food processor, but it's a great little machine and it's nice and powerful too, which I really like. Nothing to this machine at all, right? You have your main base, but a couple things that you want to keep track of and are super important, right? You have your bowl. You have your blade, so this is called the S blade, right? Looks like an S, pretty simple there. Super sharp though, but this is gonna spin nice and quick for you so you're able to, again, shred some of that food, dice some of that food, do whatever you're doing for your recipe. So nothing to this machine at all. Three main components here along with the base. So you have your lid, your bowl, and your S blade. So a couple things I do want to point out with the bowl is this bowl is unique to this machine. A couple components on here. There is a little pin here, kind of hard for you to see there, that the lid actually will go in, it'll go down, and I think I can show you here. I'm going to show you real quick. Once you spin the lid into place, there's a little pin that comes down and puts the machine in place. Nice safety feature as well. That's going to make sure the machine doesn't start until that pin is actually in place. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and maybe load up this machine. There we go. That being said, so we're going to go ahead and load up the bowl onto the machine. You'll notice it only goes one way, so we're going to start at my right, your left, right? So if you're looking at the machine handle, you want to sort of face to your left. From there, you'll spin it in place, and you'll notice it has a nice snap to it. And then from there, you have your lid. So the lid has a couple different parts, right? So you have these parts here that sort of grab the edges here, but you also will notice up front there's a little angled part. The way I like to load that, again, is face it the same way you face the bowl. Face it to your left, a little bit angled, and then from there, you're going to spin it. Again, you'll hear that click, and what that's doing is actually it's clicking the bowl into place so it's not going to move. One thing I forgot to do, which you don't want to forget, is the S blade, right? So we'll go ahead and simply undo this. Put the S blade into place. Again, you want to be careful. It's a sharp guy. We don't want to cut our fingers. So when you put the S blade in place, just make sure it's nice down flush with the bottom of the machine. We want to angle this guy, again, to your left, my right. Close it up by spinning. Again, that'll put it into place. And then from there, we have three buttons up front. We have our pulse. Pretty simple. That'll pulse just like your blender at home, right? You can pulse this if you want to do it a few more times, right? You have on, which will simply let the machine run. It'll do its thing, right? There's a nice little hole in here. If there are little bits you want to feed in there, you can if you want. Definitely don't put your finger in there. Really good way of chopping your finger off. So right now, as we're on, as I talked about, this guy has a few safety features. One of those safety features is if we actually spin the top open, it's actually going to stop. That blade's going to stop. So if I want to load more product in there, I can simply do that. So if I'm running around, you guys are usually doing stuff here around the kitchen, got a lot going on, right? I can just load it again, simply close it, and it's going to simply just start right back up for me. Again, you can undo it, safety feature it's going to turn off. I can load it as needed, put back on, spin, and then I'm on my way. From there, once I'm ready to stop, I just simply hit the off button. I'm good to go. Check my product. If I have to just pulse it real quick, again, like your blender, I can simply do that. So real simple. Really nothing to this machine. Again, three main components. We have our S blade, we have our bowl, we have our lid, and there's really nothing to it. Again, once you're ready to sort of be done with the machine, unload, grab the bowl off, you want to turn it to your left, again, my right, and just simply pick up. You might have some product in here, so you take the S blade out. You might want to give it a little jiggle, right? Get your stuff out there, and then from there, just dump your recipe out and do your thing, and you'll be ready to go. Finally, I just want to talk about how do we clean this, right? Again, like with everything else, always recommend, don't recommend, I insist that you unplug everything once we start cleaning, right? So this guy here, really nothing to it. You really don't want to spray this. There are a couple vents on the side, right? This machine is more of your standard electric type machine. So you really don't want to spray it directly, but you can spray your towel, you can wipe it down, damp cloth, whatever it is. Just get it nice and clean. Another thing I want to show you here on this guy as well, which is a common issue, that these little feet can go missing. So you always want to make sure that the feet are on there. There is a nice little groove on each foot, so you can actually take a little screwdriver and sort of put it into place. But these can actually be replaced pretty simply as well. But you always want to make sure that the feet are on there, as if not, and it's a little hard to remove, so I'm not even going to try and remove it right now. So again, you always want to make sure that these feet are on. It's going to make that machine off kilter. It'll make it wobble a little bit. So always check that before you start using it. So again, damp cloth, spray the cloth down with some spray, wipe it down. That's all you really have to do with this. Finally, these, like with everything else, do not recommend putting these through the dishwasher, automated dishwasher. Take a nice scrub brush, scrub this guy down, and then you're good to go. It's ready to be used for your next recipe. Same thing with your S-blade. So again, you always want to be careful. Take a nice long-handled brush, clean this guy up properly, and you're set. Once again, guys, I'm Fernando. We just went over the Coupe R2 food processor. Went over the components, how to clean. Pretty simple, right? It's your standard food processing machine. It's just going to get things done a little bit more efficiently than, say, your standard home machine. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.